Good morning, students. Development of eye, a very important lecture. Points. First point will be, there will be the development of vesicles. Which vesicles? That also we write down. There will be optic vesicle as well as lens vesicle. This is the first point. Second point will be, we will discuss on the derivatives of optic cup, CUP. This is the second point. Third point will be, we will discuss on the optic stalk, STALK. Fourth point will be, we are going to discuss on lens vesicle. And the fifth point will be, this we will discuss tomorrow. That will be the mesenchyme, that is covering the entire optic cup. So this point will be discussed tomorrow. First point, that is vesicles, that is optic vesicle and lens vesicle. See here, it is very interesting, and step by step if you go, it will be really very interesting. We draw here the entire section of diencephalon. So let us draw this as diencephalon. I'll tell you what is diencephalon, and here we complete this diencephalon. I will just write it as D. Please note that the foregut, midgut, hindgut, that is the gut tube, when it is developing, at the same time dorsally there is development of neural tube. This neural tube will develop into central nervous system. So therefore it will develop into forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, and the caudal part is spinal cord. Therefore, when we discuss the entire development of nervous system, at that time it will be clear that the entire forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain will develop into cerebral hemispheres, diencephalon which develops into thalamus, hypothalamus, etc. Sorry, and midbrain, then cerebellum, then pons and medulla oblongata. Out of all these structures which are developing from neural tube, and please remember, neural tube will develop from ectoderm. We take a cross section of diencephalon. So therefore this diencephalon is nothing but a section of a neural tube from which future thalamus and hypothalamus will develop. From the lateral wall of diencephalon, there will be two diverticula, two outgrowths. Here, these are the two outgrowths. And these two outgrowths will develop into structures which are known as optic vesicle and optic stalk. Please note down here, this portion, narrow portion which is attached, that is called optic stalk. And this portion which is expanded will be known as optic vesicle. Very simple. Lateral diverticula, lateral outgrowth. Please note this point. Now, where they are developing laterally, there will be surface ectoderm, and from this surface ectoderm, there will be thickening of lens placode. Remember, I have discussed with you, any thickening is called placode. So therefore, this lens placode, here I'll show you, will thicken from surface ectoderm which is covering the optic vesicle. Similarly on this side, if I draw here, this is the thickening of lens placode from surface ectoderm. So we need to mark down this structure as surface ectoderm, very important point, and this structure lens placode. Very simple. So therefore, what is surface ectoderm? The entire ectoderm that is covering the neural tube. Lateral diverticula. Here surface ectoderm will form lens placode. From the lateral diverticula of the neural tube, that is diencephalon, optic stalk and optic vesicle. Optic vesicle will come in apposition with surface ectoderm. that portion of surface ectoderm will develop into lens placode. Here we finish our first step. Now second step. After drawing this diagram, we will consider this section, this much, on one side. So if I draw here, only one side will take, not bilateral. There will be first optic stalk. Please draw this optic stalk. Then there will be optic vesicle. This optic vesicle, please note down, this optic vesicle will be converted into cup, CUP, which is known as optic cup. This optic cup, I will slightly enlarge it over here. Now this optic cup will be developed in such a way that it will have, where my hand is there, outer layer, inner layer. In between this space, with my index finger I am showing you, this space will be known as intraretinal space. Simply note it down at this stage as intraretinal space. Very simple. This is our optic stalk. Very simple. Now this portion will be known as optic cup. Optic cup is developed from optic vesicle. Why it is called optic cup? Because it will enlarge and it will become cup shaped. Within this concavity, the lens placode, which was present here, it will isolate, it will detach. Slowly it will detach from the surface ectoderm. And it will be converted into, here I am going to show you, it will be converted into, this is the surface ectoderm, the lens will be converted into lens vesicle. This is how it will develop. So therefore, this will be known as lens vesicle. Slowly it is detaching from the surface ectoderm. In the later stage, when we draw the next diagram, we will show very clearly that this lens vesicle will be completely detached from surface ectoderm. So here we mark this diagram right now. This one will be surface ectoderm, and now this portion, see here, this portion will be known as lens vesicle. So from the lens placode, entire detached segment will become a small spherical shape, which becomes lens vesicle. Where is it migrating? It is migrating towards the concavity of the optic cup. This lens vesicle will be surrounded by a capsule, and that capsule will be coming from mesenchyme. So therefore, that capsule, here we will show that capsule, let me make it white color only. This capsule will be known as tunica vasculosa lentis. So therefore, we will mark this in the diagram itself. Tunica vasculosa lentis, L-E-N-T-I-S. It is nothing but derivative of mesenchyme, which is covering the lens vesicle, which has just recently developed. So here we finish our step 2. Very clear? Now step 3. We have analyzed that this optic cup, as it has become more concave, it has developed from optic vesicle. Now this concavity will also extend in the inferior part of optic stalk. It will also extend here, inferior part of optic stalk. That diagram we need to show. And when it extends in the inferior part of optic stalk, that particular concavity will be known as choroid fissure. So therefore, that choroid fissure, which we will show it over here, it will be in an inferior view. That choroid fissure will be in an inferior view, and this is how we show. This will be the optic cup, this is the optic stalk. Once again, here, this will be the optic stalk. Let me straighten this. Therefore, now we show that this is the margin of optic cup, concavity of optic cup, which will extend inferiorly into the optic stalk. This is how we have to show. We are looking at the optic stalk and optic cup from inferior view. Therefore, this margin here, which will continue in the inferior wall of optic stalk, will be known as, please mark this, as choroid fissure. Step number 3, choroid fissure. What will we fill this space with? We will fill the space with the lens vesicle. This is what we fill. This lens vesicle is surrounded by, as I told you, it will be surrounded by tunica vasculosa lentis. What is present in lens vesicle? Later on we'll fill. Now more important is the space which is present here, choroid fissure. At this stage, when the choroid fissure is extended inferiorly in the optic stalk, there will be passing of two structures inside. Those two structures will be, number one, the first structure will be, I will take this pink color only, one artery. There will be passing of this artery, here I'll make these branches, and along with the artery, we will use blue color. There will be various mesenchymal processes which will be passing within this choroid fissure. These mesenchymal processes will be known as primitive vitreous body. And this artery which is present here, this artery will be known as the fetal choroidal artery. So therefore, these two structures, number one, the first will be vitreous body. This vitreous body in detail I will discuss tomorrow. Just at this stage, it is primitive vitreous body, collection of mesenchymal elements, along with this artery, fetal artery, or it is called choroidal artery, and this artery will also be known as hyaloid artery, Hyaloid. So this hyaloid artery is present in the fissure which is known as choroidal fissure. Later on it will be known as hyaloid canal.